Manchester United 1, Brighton 3. This is the match day review. It wasn't an easy watch by any stretch of the imagination. So get involved in the chat. I'd love to know your thoughts and where it went wrong, and did anything go right at all as Manchester United have another defeat. That's 2 wins and 3 defeats now. I'm joined by Hopper RH. Thank you. We did the watch along together.
Yeah,
wasn't fun.
Wasn't a fun one, mate.
Let's try to get some optimism. What were the better parts of the performance, right, before we get into the negative?
So for me, like I said on the watch along, I think for the first 20 minutes, and in particular what we seen, I think we started on the front foot. We started positive, pressing with intent, and I thought they started really well. And it was looking promising, and up until the goal, take nothing away from the goal. It's a fantastic, dummy by Lallana. It's a great finish from Welbeck. The goal went in, and everything just seemed to go. I think Brighton, with their style, expansive style, and the way they wanted to play, it was just a lift from them getting that early goal.
Yeah,
they could relax, they could play the game, and I said it quite a few times on the watch along. They play some great stuff. They play in tight areas. They got technically good players, and yeah, they just seem to just control the game from there.
Where do you put that down to? The fact that we did start quite well, conceded, which I thought was a little bit against the run of
Definitely
play. I thought up until that point, some of the link-up play, we were waxing lyrical about Eriksen spin on the ball, the fast movement, Højlund looked great. So you had like 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes of that. We go 1 goal down. We shouldn't have it in us to sort of try and go back, but our heads drop. And the fact is we've got like the likes of Casemiro, Champions League winner. We've got like warriors like Martinez in that team. We've got 30 goals a season. Rashford up front. So why are our heads dropping to us the standard that they did?
Honestly, mate, I could not tell you. Like you've rightly said there, when a goal comes in, we're looking for a reaction. Any team, if they go 1-0 down, it's how you react and try and get that goal and kick on and keep doing what they've done in the first 20 minutes. Because I think like I said, they started the game really well on the front foot. Reguilon was bombing forward, looking really well on the overlap, and Rashford, we talked about him. We talked about Eriksen's. We did start off well individually as well, and that goal went in. It just seemed to deflect everybody. And up until that, Brighton did take over, but then we've seen that nice little bit of play from Rashford. Great little play, great feet in the tight area. He delays it and gets his cross in. It's a great touch and it's a great finish from Højlund. But the ball went out. Yeah. And then that was another kick in the backside, or the ICK. Yeah. So that's disappointing. And then again, you just think, right, you got a goal there, disallowed, but kick on again. You can prove that you can do it. And then it just seemed to go from bad to worse.
There does seem to be this mentality in this team, and you made 2 examples of it there, is that when something goes wrong, it's very sort of moody teenager. Oh, everything's going to pot. Yeah. We've conceded. Oh no, VAR's gone against us, and it's like, what's the point? That sort of attitude.
Throwing the ties out the pram.
Yeah, it very much is. Yeah. But then that goal doesn't go in, or doesn't get given the VAR decision goes against us for Højlund. All right, you have half time. What we were still 1 down at that point. Was it?
I think it was 1-0 at half time.
And then we come back out. Why we're not trying? Management talk, get out there, get into the players, more optimism.
I said at half time. I know it's cliche, but it's how you start the second half. You started the first half on the front foot. Yeah, the goal coming, and Brighton took over and played the way they play, and it was fair play to them, credit to them. We got the goal. It was disallowed, but you can prove that you can create chances, and you can do that. Second half started. Another sucker punch, another goal. Lamptey's. I don't think Lamptey's meant to put the pass where he's put the pass. Yeah. I think he's meant to put it to his feet, but it's led in front of him. It's a great drop of the shoulder from Gross, and it's a great finish. But again, you're 2-0 down. You're 2-0 down at home, and you go to chase the game, but still you find it difficult because Brighton are keeping possession of the ball. They're taking over the game, and it was just frustration after frustration, and we just couldn't get hold of the game.
Yeah,
went 3-0 down, and it takes a kid coming on, Hannibal, running around, getting tackles in, getting the crowd going, getting pumped, shooting from outside the box. And fair play to him, he had a good go.
That's 3 games lost this season. I'll get to the comments soon, because I want to share some of them. Yeah. But that's 3 games lost now. 2 games where we weren't wholly convincing for the 2 games that we won. Wolves in particular, we probably didn't deserve to win that. Nottingham Forest made hard work of ourselves. Where's the problems? Why is it not? Why are we not kicking on from last season as all of us hoped?
I think to myself, you're looking at the first 5 games, for example. You go to Arsenal away. It was a tight game. Garnacho's goal was inches, and then they go and grab one bit of a unfortunate one. You think about, but all the other games you would hope to be winning or taking some points from, especially like you talked about the teams that we talked about, and even today Brighton. Yeah, they were a great team, play great football, but we're Man United. We're at home. We're at Old Trafford. We should be beating teams like Brighton, and Brighton are again, great side, play good stuff, but we're Man United.
We're Man United under Ten Hag that's got that record that's just gone today of being undefeated. So
31 games, was it?
31 games. And that's gone out the window now. So they should have the confidence. Even if you go 1-0 down, they should have the confidence to sort of come back because of what that sort of record indicates. That's some super chats. Kyle Beggs. Heads are dropping because they don't have a goalkeeper that can make saves. They know no matter how hard they work, he's going to give up 2-3 goals a match, on track to give up 76 goals plus this season. I'm not having that they're not performing because they feel like they've got a goalkeeper behind them that will concede for us, because they're not making enough chances up front to sort of dictate that. Yeah. If we were losing 5-4 because we scored 4 goals, then I'd understand that, but I'm not having that. Callum Jones, Eric Ten Hag did not make the changes to our style of play. Our outball to the fullbacks was on all game, never changed our style of play all game, so he thinks he's set up wrong. There was another one.
Going on about the style, and again, it's one of the things that I touched on the watch along. I don't feel like we do have a style. You was asking me, about Brighton, and because I was complimentary of the way they play, and you was asking me, well, what's the difference? And I don't feel like we do have a style and how to play. Brighton are like a B-Tech Man City, for example. But what is our style? He wants to play that sort of high press. He wants to play the loads of intensity and keeping control of the game. But we don't do that. So
the facts are that my take on it is, if United don't get a style of play soon enough, that will dictate the future of Ten Hag at Manchester United, really, because every successful manager at every football club that wins anything, you can say, that's how Klopp plays football, that's how Pep plays football, that's how Ancelotti likes to play football. So he needs to stamp that very, very soon, doesn't he? There's some more comments. We had Callum Jones just decided to give us a quid, so thank you very much for that, Callum. Made the day a little bit easier. JJS said, one time United fans wanted Fergie out before we started winning everything. Not happy with the Hoyland decision, but hardly anyone else turned up on that pitch. Overpaid players, no responsibility. And then somebody else said they also had 3 shots and 3 goals.
But you look at the shots, they're clear-cut chances. And we're after Hannibal from shooting from 20 yards. Apart from the disallowed goal, and maybe Rashford hitting the side netting, where are our chances in the game? There's not many. So to be honest, I was surprised that they brought Hoyland off for Martial, and I think Old Trafford made it very clear whether that's Hoyland coming off or whether that's the person that's coming on. But still, he gives you a bit of a different dynamic. He gives you a bit of a vocal point, and he can play with his back to goal, and he brings people in.
We've had another super chat. Burnside is back. He put, genuinely staggered. The levels of support this manager continues to receive. His goal difference in the Premier League since taking over is +9. Stop comparing to Ole, who was +60 or more over the course of his tenure. It's shocking.
I think on, we like what you're saying. You're not calling for Ten Hag's head. I think what you're making a point of is, you can blame the 11 players on the pitch, which rightly so, but also you've got to play to a system. There's no system, there's no style, and it's okay talking about, I want my teams to play this way or that way. There comes a point where you've got to see it on the pitch, and that's what you're judged off. It's all right being ruthless off it and managing the dressing room off the field, but you put 11 players on the pitch, you expect them to carry out a job.
We don't seem to play like a team. We seem to play like a collection of individuals rather than sort of any cohesive unit that's moving that moves together in attack, that moves together in defence. And if that was evident today, there was like little magic moments. And this was the issue under Solskjaer as well. I don't think Ten Hag's completely eradicated it, if at all. Is that we were relying on maybe last season under Rashford to create goals out of nothing. It wasn't out of fantastic performances. And that was the case under Solskjaer. If you look at today, we got a goal. And that was through Hannibal doing something miraculous. And the fact that he came on the pitch and showed more energy than anyone else who'd been on there for 90 minutes, it's quite frankly embarrassing for the team completely. And then the other guy who put in a great shift was a loanee from Spurs. Yeah. That's just not good enough at all.
It's not. And take me out off to... literally, I'll take me out to Hannibal, because he's had an opportunity. He's come onto the pitch under difficult circumstances, and he's had a good go. He's put himself about. He's got on the ball, and he's got his goal. And fair play to him. I thought he gave a good account of himself in a bad situation. So fair play to him.
He's the youngster. He should be looking up to other people to be role models to him. He shouldn't be coming on setting the standard for the players around him that are seasoned pros earning a shitload more money than him. I just completely think it's disgusting. Eggshell, chances are when Bruno plays in the middle, and what in the world McTominay did apart from running around. McTominay is brilliant. I don't think there's anyone else in the game that runs around as much as McTominay. Looks like he's had a good game when realistically didn't. Palestri should have been starting, or any other right winger.
I think regarding the midfielders in particular in the first half, I think when someone, say a fullback's got the ball, Reguilon's got the ball, there was literally nobody in there to even pop the ball to turn out to switch play or even to bounce back. It was people were hiding behind midfielders. There's no one really want to take the game and take the ball and create anything. Again, before on the watch along we're talking about Bruno, or before the game about he's the only creative or effective player. Today he wasn't on it.
Yeah.
And then obviously we didn't create anything. But you can't just rely on him. He was poor today. But we can't just rely on him. We need others chipping in.
We certainly do. And somebody who from last season that we relied on as well, probably more so than we did on Bruno, was Rashford. A lot of people have been critical of his performance today. It was playing as a two up front, or at least that's how it seemed to me.
Yeah.
Maya Amateur, who's been a member of the first team for 6 months, said, "Can we talk a bit about Rashford and his final decision making? Simple goals similar to Welbeck can be achieved if Rashi releases earlier." What did you make of his performance?
I didn't think he was great. If I'm being brutally honest, I think there was 3 opportunities where he's gone 1v1. So the first time he went 1v1 and delayed it was the Højlund disallowed goal, which was great. But before that, if you look at the time where, I think it was Casemiro played a switch and he took a fantastic touch, and he played also like off 1 or 2 touch, and he hit an area because he knew Højlund was going to be in that area. That's brilliant. But then, in the second half when you're going 1v1, he's hit the side netting with a shot when he could just squared it across because Højlund were coming in, sliding in. The Højlund even slid in before he left his foot because that's what he thought was happening. Mate, it's just decision making. It's the end product, especially in them games where you're not you're not in control of the game. Even though we're at home and we're against Brighton, you're not in control of it. So you need to take your chances and be clinical when you get them. That's
certainly something that Ten Hag was saying last season. I mean, you can't say he wasn't clinical last year, given the sort of goals that he scored. But Rashford didn't have a great game, and I do wonder if it was because he was playing as a 2 rather than a left wing. And it's a new partnership. I'm not making any excuses at all before he started throwing pelters at me on the comments. But it's like he has playing as a pairing with Højlund.
It was weird though, because even though he was sort of playing in that pair or way it looked, because he was playing the diamond in there, he was still very wide. Yeah. He was still I think that's his safe haven out there and stuff like that. But when you get chances to assist or to hit things, you've got to do it properly. It's like he's cut inside on one of them and he's gone to lace it and put like a knuckleball technique on it when we was there straight away and we both said it. He's got to guide it in. He's got to whip it. He's got to curve it into, because that's the right technique to do at a certain point.
Alpha Omega Super Chat. Don't care. I'll wear my United jersey proudly tomorrow. Give this team a month and I'm 100% that we'll be on fire again. Right, let's try and end with some positivity then. We've obviously got players coming back. or who haven't even we've signed them, not even managed to play because we bought broken players. Amrabat's going to go into that midfield. Mason Mount still to come back into that team. I mean, I'm not going to discuss the 2 right wingers that are here for a number of reasons, but the ones that we do know that are coming back, Luke Shaw out on as left back. So there are,
Reguilon was brilliant.
Yeah, Reguilon was great.
He was good. He was sort of the shining light on a bit of a disaster. To be honest,
Varane back in centre back. So there are like positive, or there can be like positives in the future.
I think.
But at the head of the season, how hopeful are you now, given how it started?
Well, it's a bad start, innit? It's a bad start. We expect to be a better stats wise and better results wise than what we've had. And I think that's clear for everybody to see. But again, it's all about character. It's all about showing it on the football pitch, and picking results up, because that's what you judged off, results and kicking on. But as regarding the players that are coming back, Acrobat, is it? Amrabat, Acrobat, Jesus. He'll be a good enforcer in there. He'll probably, he had a great World Cup. He'll be good in there. Mount will give you the energy. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more of Mount. I'd like to see a little bit more from him. But yeah, Bayern Munich next game. And we can only get better. Jesus. We can. That's the God's honest truth. We can only get better than today, getting battered back home by Brighton out of Albion. Right, I've been Scotty. It's been Hopper. Thank you for, Thank you, mate.
It's not easy to comment on defeats like that. Yeah. So,
up the RH.
We tried. We put in a better performance than the players did on the pitch. United lost by 3-1 against Brighton. But Bayern Munich are next, and things can only get better, I hope.